Brandon Aiyuk, who's out here tweeting that, he's going to stand on business and he's 1,000-yard receiver in the fourth option of a run-first offense. And then we hear, oh, by the way, teams are going after Brandon Aiyuk at the combine, making offers. I'm pretty sure the 49ers weren't the only ones listening. I'm willing to bet you the 49ers were shopping Lance. They were shopping Elijah Mitchell. And I bet you they were shopping Aiyuk.
Yeah, I mean, if they could get a first-round pick for Lance or Aiyuk, they might do it. The thing with Aiyuk is I feel like it's going to be a very contentious negotiation because Debo, Fred Warner, George Kittle, those guys were all coming off like all-pro Pro Bowl seasons when it was time to negotiate.
Yep.
Aiyuk isn't, and it's not his fault. Like, they don't feature him, to his point. But you know how they negotiate. When he sits down, Prog's going to be like, well, you want $20 million a year? You've never been a Pro Bowler. You know what I'm saying? You had one 100-yard year last year. It's like, yeah, man, I don't call my own number. I'm on Aiyuk's side on that one.
And look at all the quarterbacks he's played with, too.
True. Yep.
Yeah, it's a little dicey to me. And I think that they just are too focused on this window that they think that they have. Right. And it's like if
the window is the quarterback.
Yeah, that's the quarterback.
Tell the people what Joe Burrow said. Tell them.
They asked Joe Burrow, look, are you a little worried your window's coming to the end here with this Bengals team? He was like, the window's my whole career. Yeah. And when you have a guy, a stud, he's right. It is their whole career. When the 49ers had Steve Young, every year they were Super Bowl contenders because they had Steve Young.
If you have a cornerstone quarterback, a cornerstone player on your offensive line, on your D-line, and maybe a go-to guy in the passing game, and you can draft well, dude, Super Bowl. Super Bowl! That's all the Chiefs do. Super Bowl. But that's what the Niners. The Niners build backwards. Let's get the kicker. Let's get the punter. Let's get the long snapper. Let's get the best long snapper. We have the best long snapper. Yeah, you do, man. You really do. Good for you.
Shout out Tabor Pepper. 2.0 watching on YouTube. Thank you very much. If you would bet on Trey being great over Brock at this point, you're delusional. Trey has been there 2 years and hasn't impressed anyone in the room. Time to accept that Trey just might not be good. He's
in the room. On the practice field.
I don't understand how people do not grasp this. He's started 4 games. He's finished 3 of those games. One of those games was in a monsoon. I'm not saying that I think Trey's guaranteed to be a stud. All I'm saying is there is literally no possible way for anyone, you, me, Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, Brock Purdy, hell, Trey Lance doesn't even know. There's no way for any of us to know what he is because he just hasn't played enough.
I think a lot of people like 2.0 here have stylistic preferences at quarterback, and they look at Trey Lance as the new style, a guy who has to run RPOs and zone reads to be successful. And I think a lot of people feel like, I don't want that. You can't win a Super Bowl that way. It's like, dude, have you noticed where the league is going the last 5 years? Like, I think a lot of people just want to like hold on to the past and have the offense look like 1998. And that's why they're not into Trey Lance at all. It's like, man, okay, like that's not what they're doing in Philly. It's not what they're doing in Kansas City, but we'll see.
I just don't know, why do people care though? Like, why if you win, does the style really matter? If you win throwing, under
they'll say a zone read quarterback has never won a Super Bowl. Well, Jalen Hurts just put up 35 points in a Super Bowl. It's not exactly his fault. It's not like the offense wasn't working in the Super Bowl. Right. Like Colin Kaepernick put up 31 in a Super Bowl. Like I do think also Nick Foles literally won the Super Bowl throwing RPOs. Literally did that.
Tom Brady threw for 500 yards in that Super Bowl and lost.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think you can win a Super Bowl with this style of play.
Oh man, I'm terrible with pronunciations. If you're familiar with this, Grant, help me out.
Let's go with Novin.
Novin on YouTube. Thank you very much. I can't believe how this organization treated Trey Lance. Trey needs to prove he can stay healthy, which is what John Lynch said. Felt like 49er football. That was, I think, was that Kyle Juszczyk when Trey Lance got hurt and Jimmy came in? McGlinchey not helping him up.
Also Trent Williams.
Yeah, I don't. There were other times where they didn't help guys up. Jimmy and Brock never needed to prove anything. Well, Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't stay healthy. They kept carting his ass out there. He got hurt in 2018. He got hurt in 2020. He was hurt in 2021. They put him out there when he couldn't even throw. So don't tell me that Trey needs to stay healthy when Jimmy's kept getting hurt and they kept putting him out there. And by the way, Brock got hurt twice in his 8 games.
It just feels like the test is one start. Right. Do you win your first start with the 49ers? Trey didn't. He lost in Arizona to a team that was undefeated. Well, that's it. That's it. That was the test, and he failed the test. It's like in the Matrix, right? The first test, you got to jump over the building.
Yep.
And everyone fails it the first time. Like, that's what happens. But with the Niners, it's like,
failed it. You're right,
dude. Brock won his first start. Oh, he's our guy. Jimmy won his first start. Oh man, it's such a good feeling. Oh, Trey lost his first start. See ya, dude. Sorry. That's so insane when you break it down like that. But that's how they do it.
Who else won it? Colin Kaepernick won his first start against the Bears.
Oh, yes,
on
he
Monday Night
did.
Football. Remember that?
Yes, he did.
He kicked the hell
yes,
out of
he
it.
did. And then I asked after that game, I said, hey, Jim Harbaugh, who's your quarterback next week? And he said, I like to go with the hot hand, so it's going to be Colin. And I was like, yes, I asked the question. Great.
You're right. It's that. And then Trey lost his first start against the Bears. In a rainstorm, the field was melting. You can go look on Twitter. It looks like a friggin' impressionist painting. It looks like a Monet. When you see that the numbers on the field were melting, the TV crew had to put the snow graphics on there.
But think about the Niners mentality. When they win, it's because of them. When they lose, it's the quarterback's fault. So if you lose week 1, I don't care that it was a monsoon. It's no one else's fault. It can't be the defense's fault because they're the best defense. It can't be Kyle's fault because he's the best coach. It can't be Trent Williams' fault because he's the best left tackle. It has to. That's how it is, man. You lose your first start with the Niners, you're gone. Goodbye. Peyton Manning, you come here, lose your first start, you're a bum. Bring back Jimmy.